Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Photography Podcast. My name is Drew Zink, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about what do I charge? How do I calculate what each photo shooter is worth, or how to charge the proper amount of money so that I am making money and covering my expenses. Well, the way we figure this out is by figuring out the cost of doing business. Now, the cost of doing business is calculated by adding up everything you see here. And this is not an exhaustive list, but this gives you an idea of a lot of the things that you're going to need to keep track of that are requirements to operate your business, such as equipment, computers, travel, the internet, postage, utilities, tour hosting, that type of thing. All of those things are must-haves when it comes to operating your business. You can't operate it without those things. So this is the first part of it. So you have to add these things up. The second thing you must do is you must decide how many shoots you're going to do or how many days of shooting you're going to do. Now, with real estate, it's a little different than the rest of the commercial world. Typically, the commercial world will decide how many days they want to shoot over the course of a year. With real estate, it's a little bit easier to figure out how many shoots you want to do over the course of a year, how many shoots you expect to do over the course of a year. This is something that you absolutely have to calculate or guesstimate at the expected or what your goal is. Finally, the last thing you have to calculate or figure out is what you want your take-home salary to be. Now, you have to realize that you're an employee of your own company, so you do have to take some kind of salary. And typically, that is experience appropriate and also area appropriate. Somebody living in the Midwest is going to be able to live on a much smaller amount of money than, say, somebody living in LA or Chicago or Atlanta, Miami, that type of thing. So you need your salary to be, one, experience appropriate, and two, it needs to be area appropriate. Once you have all of these things calculated, we do a calculation with all of them. So we take the 300 homes, for example. Let's say we shoot 300 homes over the year. That's what we expect to shoot. Our total expenses are going to be in the neighborhood of $25,000. Our take home we want to be $25,000 for a total cost for the year that we need to be able to cover is $50,000. So what we do is we take that $50,000 and divide it by the number of homes we expect to shoot over the course of that year, which is 300. And this gives us about $167 per home shot. Now that is our bottom that we can shoot at and live where we want to be able to live. That means cover our expenses and cover the take-home income that we want. Now, a lot of you may be saying that you don't want to pull out a calculator or a pad of paper and figure this all out. So I have this great website put out by the NPPA, and it's a cost of doing business calculator. And it's the one that the ASMP links to, and it's kind of the gold standard. And here it is. And this is the example that they put in. Automatically, you can clear it. Go back to zero. But here we have, studio, phone, photo equipment, repairs, computers. Basically gives you a list of just about everything that you can possibly have as an expense, including right here your desired annual salary and your total days of shooting. Now, I realize it says days, but you could figure out the number of shoots you want to do over the course of the year, and then it'll give you your total cost. And here it'll say your daily or your overhead cost for a day of shooting, which would actually be what you should be charging per tour, would be down here as your baseline right here. This is a great thing, and I think everybody should, if you don't know how to price your photography, should be using this calculator to get an idea, at least a ballpark of what you should be charging. Now, something else you're going to want to do too is look at the ASMP's Professional Business Practices in Photography book. It's the Bible for most commercial photographers on how to operate a successful photography business. It gives you tips on, again, the cost of doing business and how to properly price your photography work, but it also gives you tips on everything from copyright to handling clients and just everything. It's a great book. It's, I don't know, probably 250 pages. I actually have 2 copies of it. It's definitely a book that you should be taking a look at. So that gives you a basic rundown of how to calculate the cost of doing business, how to price your photography appropriately. And, you know, there is no hard and fast rule that says, you know, your take home should be this or take home should be that. And that's kind of the big thing that fluctuates is what you want your take home to be. So you're going to have to sit down and figure that one out for yourself. Find out what your outside expenses are too, what your expenses are for your mortgage payments, what your home utilities cost, what your, you know, if you're sending your kid to a private school, what that costs, all that type of thing. That all plays into what you want your take-home income to be, because that's not a business expense. So that's it for now. You know, if you have any subjects that you're looking to hear about, this particular subject was written, emailed to me by a couple of viewers, and so I figured it was time appropriate to put up something about the cost of doing business and how to calculate photo shoots. So I will respond with hopefully in video with any questions that you may have, that a lot of the community may have. So hit me up in the comments, and until next time, thanks for watching.